Look.
Totally vetted. Welcome back to Impossibly Unremarkable, a podcast hosted by myself, Jonathan Butts, and my longtime friend, co-host, and little ball drop boy, Elliott Markson.
That is right, and today we are just two peas on a pod, telling you today to eat your vegetables. Isn't that right?
Yes. Was that a name that we had come up with at some point?
Two peas on a pod?
Well, I felt like in a pod.
In a pod? Yeah, no, you're probably
I feel
right.
like that was on like the short list of names.
Of shit names that we wanted to name this podcast, but decided against it because it was corny and sounded stupid.
Yes.
Apologies to anybody out there who started a podcast and called it Two Peas in a Pod.
I'm sure someone's done that.
It's got to be out there somewhere.
Not a particularly good name.
Not particularly,
But
no.
incorporated the word pod, which is
right.
what about 90% of podcasts do.
Yeah, 90% of failing podcasts have the word pod in it, which is why we avoided that.
Yes. So, we're here today.
Yes.
It's almost the new year. It is almost 2023.
Almost 2023.
Which is fucking wild.
It's crazy.
When you get older, man, time flies.
Dude, it's really weird. Honestly, as I've gotten into like my mid-20s, time just seems to go by way faster.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if it's because you're just working a job and every day kind of just melts together and it all seems the same. And then eventually you wake up and it's fucking 5 years later. Where have we gone?
That's true.
Yeah. So time really moves by fast. And I can't believe we are about to enter 2023.
I know.
What even happened in 2022?
Well, that's exactly why we're here. We're going to be walking through the past year, past 2022, talking about what went right, what went wrong. We're going to recap some of our faves, some of our highlights, some of our lowlights.
Yeah.
We're going to get really, really deep into it.
We're going to get personal. We're going to talk about when we were happy. We're going to talk about when we were depressed.
2 episodes in a row.
I'm just kidding. Says the guy who says he doesn't want to be here anymore.
But yeah, let's dive into it. So instead of talking about our past week, let's talk about our past year. How has this past year been for you?
Honestly, man, this year has been I feel like it's going to be one of those years that I look back on, and it's going to be one of those big chapter turning moments where it's closing a chapter and opening a new one, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that was really tacky, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, it's true. It's fine. I'm a fucking loser.
I'm kidding. No, that totally makes sense.
I mean, just a lot of things happened to me this year. You know, I started, new jobs. I got this podcast going for me. I became a father almost.
Oh, hold on.
Almost. Fine. I learned I'm going to become a father. Sure.
There you go.
I traveled a lot. I did a lot of mind-blowing things, like this podcast. Yeah, I don't know. It was just a year that I feel like was very good in a lot of ways. Obviously had its struggles. I feel like this year I really hit it hard with therapy, which was good. Keeping on top of that mental health.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was just it was a good year. I feel like the best things, including the pregnancy, this podcast were great things. Just being able to dive into new experiences, have fun memories that I made with the boys, whether it's a trip to the Boundary Waters, whether it was traveling to Arizona, New York, fucking Dallas.
I'm the boy.
You the boy.
I'm the boy.
Just like traveling the world and trying to pursue things like this podcast that just make me happy. Because really that's all life is about. And that's really something I learned this year is that your happiness is above all else. And that's really the most important thing. What about you?
Man, it's been the complete opposite for me.
My year's been garbage.
This is the worst year of my life. No, I felt like, pretty good year. Can't complain. I would say more eventful than, years past. Like kind of like you mentioned, things start to blend together and, especially with, COVID and the pandemic.
Right.
A lot of people's lives were on halted?
Yeah, halted. Sure. Yeah. Yielded.
On halt.
On halt.
On hold. On hold was the word I was looking for. Fuck. But no, it's been a good year. I mean, at the start of the year, I got a promotion at my job. It's
nice.
Been a lot of fun. New role. Podcast has probably been the biggest thing, most impactful thing.
Right. And that's really why we're all here.
I know you and I have been wanting to do something for a long time.
Yeah.
Something more than what we've been doing, something, interesting and entertaining. And
right.
I think this podcast, like the idea to do it was like conceptualized while I was drunk at my birthday party.
It literally was. I actually do exactly remember when we decided to make this podcast.
Yeah.
It was your birthday, which was in June of 2022.
Yes.
And you were drunk off your ass. I was sober as a gopher. And as a gopher, what the fuck am I talking about? I was sober as a damn judge. And and then we were just like, man, we should do something creative. You're like, I've always wanted to write a book. And I was like, you can do anything, man. And then you were like, we should start a podcast.
Yeah, because it's it still is like the most accessible thing that two fucking blokes can get into.
Right. It's something that's so attainable for most people. And it's just a creative outlet for me personally. I feel like I was in a point in my life where, yes, I have a lot. I just recapped. I have a lot of great things going on, right? But emotionally, mentally, I needed some sort of something for me that was going to be that outlet for me, that could also be something that I'm just passionate about, and that whether it becomes popular or whatever, it's something that makes me happy and something that I look forward to doing every week with my best buddy.
He's talking about me, guys.
Yeah, this motherfucker.
Yeah, so I think it's been great. I know when we started, one of our buddies had sent like this article that he had found that I think we talked about it briefly. It's an article just saying that we need more podcasts. Most podcasts die after 5 episodes.
Right.
You're in the top 1% if you hit like 21 episodes.
Right.
I think.
And I'm like, I don't have anything to do.
Yeah,
we could put out 20 episodes easy.
Easy.
I got so much time on my hands.
And so if I'm counting correctly, I think we've hit 20, or maybe this might be 19.
We're pretty close.
We're very, very close.
We're edging.
We are edging. We are edging. No, we're definitely, because we had 2 guest episodes.
Yeah.
This should be 19, I think.
Probably.
So we're at 20. We're at 20.
We made it. Congratulations. If you're here with us, you were here from the beginning. God bless you.
And if you didn't believe in us, we didn't believe in ourselves. So it
doesn't matter.
It's A-okay.
It's okay.
It's all good.
It's okay if you don't believe in
Mom.
us. Yeah.
Huh? What'd you say?
Yeah, no. I said mom too.
But aside from the podcast, I also did a little bit of traveling. Went to San Francisco. We had our Boundary Waters trip. Went to El Paso. I got to meet my nephew for the first time, who's brought into this world this year.
Nice.
It's been all things considered a pretty good year.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it? What was the worst year of your life?
Worst year of my life?
I don't know why. I just want to know. I gotta know.
Oh God. Probably, what is that? 2016, I think.
Whoa. Why? Freshman year of college was the worst year of your life?
That would have been sophomore year. I'm thinking fall of 2016.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so 2016 was a great year by many, many accounts.
True.
That's when Emily and I got together. That's when
worst year of your life.
Worst year. No, but like
that's when I started dating my girlfriend. Worst year ever.
For some reason, sophomore year of college like hit me pretty hard.
Yeah.
And that's like when, like, I know a lot of people say, and just a real life experience, a lot of people, like, their mental illness really kicks in college.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's a very stressful environment.
Oh, yeah.
But there's like a 2-week stretch where my uncle passed away, and then like a week and a half later, my grandpa passed away.
Yeah.
And it was all like very sudden. It was like right before, a couple weeks before like the final stretch. And it was just like, man, all this anxiety just like hit me all at one time.
Yeah.
It was like very, very, very hard to get through that. But thankfully, it was only like a couple months. I'm only still reeling with it now in 2022. It's A-okay.
Wow. You came out on the other side, though. Here you are today.
I'm still here.
And 2023 is just around the corner.
It's true. What about you? What about you? What's the worst thing that's ever happened?
The worst year of my life? Do we really want to get this serious? Oh, my God. Okay. Why did I ask the question?
1996, the year I was born.
I wish it never happened. No, I mean, the worst year of my life was also probably in college. So probably like 2018, either senior year or the year after college.
Senior year also sucked.
Because I feel like for me, that was my worst mental health years of my life, where I was really dipping down, I was still drinking at that point in my life, and that's something that maybe we can touch on a future date. But it was a point where I just wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't appreciating where I was, who was around me, who I was as a person, and I felt like I had a lot of growing to do. And it was just a point in my life where I just hit some really, really bad lows. And yeah, I mean, that's just sort of a period in my life that I've learned from, I've grown from, and here I am today. It's almost 2023!
You came back stronger than ever. I mean, you look great.
Thanks, man.
You seem like you're doing much better. You're in a great part in your life where you're about to be a dad. You've got a wonderful wife. You've got a wonderful podcast. Probably the main thing that's happened.
The main thing that's happened to me. Honestly, dude, if I look back, or like if I could go talk to myself in those years, in those down years, and tell myself all the shit that I got coming up, I would have been in a lot better place. I don't know if I would have believed myself.
I would have kicked the shit out of my
I would have been
self.
like, you fucking loser.
I don't know.
I would have beat the shit out of me. I was a fucking loser.
Do I look all cozy?
Yeah, you do look cozy. For those of you who can't see him, who aren't watching on YouTube, he's in a cozy little pink blanket. He looks like a tiny little Hot Pocket, just wrapped up nice.
Really fucking cold in this basement.
He's like a spring roll.
What makes it so cold in this basement?
Well, we're underground, and it's cold outside, and I don't think the airflow in these older homes is really that great. So I think it's a little cold down here. We record this podcast in the basement for now. And
for now.
It is cold as shit outside.
We're gonna move up to the next floor, and then the next floor. Eventually we're going to be recording from a fucking penthouse.
Soon we'll be in that penthouse suite looking down on all of our listeners.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, I mean, ultimately I want to just be on a pedestal. Yeah. Fuck.
Should we dive in? So we have a couple categories that we're going to discuss.
Yeah, I think a part of looking over this year is looking over things that lots of people appreciate, such as music, movies, and TV shows. So we're going to talk about our favorite albums, movies, and TV shows from 2022. Why don't you start us off? Go.
We're going to start with music, and Elliott's going to carry this conversation because I've talked about it before. I'm very, very resistant towards picking up new music.
You are.
I'm very
I've tried so hard with you.
And you've had a lot of success, especially this year. But I really, really stick to the same artists and a lot of the same albums. I don't know why. For me, it takes a while to really latch on to music. But at some point this year, I don't know if it was like just before summer, at some point I texted you and I was like, hey, I want you to start sending me artists that you really like.
Yeah, that
Give
was
me an album.
At least a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I think... Okay, just go on.
He's right. It didn't last that long. But that's because the second artist you gave me, because I think first was Denzel Curry.
Yeah. The first two artists I hit.
Yeah, you really...
I don't know
really
how
did.
I started off so strong. But then after that, I kept trying to maybe get a little outside the box. Like maybe I'll just take a slight step outside, kind of expand his view.
Because it was Denzel Curry, and then it was Saba, and then it was Joey Badass, I think.
It was Joey Badass, and then Slow Tie, I think I told you to listen to a record.
Yeah, it started going a little downhill, and then the
Break-ins? I'm going to talk about break-ins in a second.
But the first two, you were very on point. Denzel Curry, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, great album.
Great.
We got to see him this year. That's another thing that we didn't really, and that we can tie in here. I've never really been a guy who goes to concerts.
Yeah.
But I've gone to more concerts this year than I have in my entire life.
Yeah, I think this is a big concert year for me too.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, both these artists you're about to talk about, we saw both of them live this year.
Very, very cool experiences. So Denzel Curry, I think I gave like an 8 out of 10 on that album.
Yeah.
When I rated him. But Saba...
Want to be music nerd.
I listened to all of Saba's albums.
Yeah.
I first started with Care For Me, which is just a fucking incredible album.
I think it's his
Heartbreaking. And then Bucket List Project, which...
I love Bucket List.
I think that one took a little bit longer to grow on me, just because it's just artistically different than Care For Me is.
Right.
And a lot more features. And then Few Good Things, which came out this year.
Yeah.
Also fucking good. And I hadn't really fully listened to so when I listen to music, I don't listen once and then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this is great. It takes me like 3 or 4 listens, and I wasn't at that point for Few Good Things before we had seen him live. So I feel like I didn't really get the full experience, but it was still a really, really great, great time.
I feel like that's a lot of people are like that with albums, right? I mean, off first listen of a lot of albums that I love today, I didn't listen to it the first time and went, oh, this is blowing my mind. Like some of them, it takes a bit, and then after a few listens, you're like, this is maybe one of the best things I've ever heard in my entire life.
And I think I'm just for some reason so resistant. For some reason, I want to stick to the same things because I don't know if you remember. I know we said earlier that we wouldn't mention his name, but
No.
when Waves came out, or sorry, not Waves, Life of Pablo. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of the song.
yeah, you're thinking of the
I
song.
remember in college you showed it to me, and I was like, "This is fucking shit."
Yes. Okay, the man who should not be named, I will not name his name, man who I previously on this podcast,
You don't have to say it.
I'm not going to talk about it because fuck him forever. I hate him. But yeah, I remember showing you guys Life of Pablo when it came out in 2016, which was the worst year of your life, and and literally you guys made fun of me. For literally, I played you guys like Facts or something, or some song off of Life of Pablo, and you guys were laughing at me about how could you like this music? This is so bad, blah blah blah. And now all of you listen to fucking what's his name, and you and think he's fucking amazing, and I'm just like sitting here like I fucking told you so.
I don't know. Like I don't know why I put up the wall. It's just how
Megan
it is.
does this too. I'll literally like tell her to listen to an album. She won't do it, and then a few weeks later, I'll like she'll like get in the car and she'll put it on. She'll be like, as a joke, she'll be like, "Have you heard this album? It's pretty good." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah. So I mean, I did that. I mean, I did that with Because the Internet when you showed me, way back when, and I got hand it to Elliott. He's fucking music guru.
I'm not going to say that.
For many things, like a lot of like the music I listen to. I mean, I can't remember what my Apple Rewind was or whatever the fuck they call it, but it was dominated by Saba.
Yeah,
I listen to it all the time. Great music. But thank you for that.
Yeah,
thank you for being such a big part of my 2022.
No problem, man. I try my best.
And I feel like I didn't really influence you whatsoever.
You influence me in ways that you don't even know.
Name one thing.
I'm funnier when you're around.
All right, I know you have a much longer list than I do.
I have a laundry list of albums from this year that I'm not going to touch on all of them just because it would take way too long. We don't have enough time for that. But I'm going to talk about maybe a couple and then just maybe do some honorable mentions, just rattle off a few. One I did want to talk about, which I have mentioned this on this podcast offhand, but it's sold separately by Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs is a rapper out of Gary, Indiana. Yes, the Gary, Indiana.
I love Gary,
I would
Indiana.
classify him under maybe like the same umbrella as like Pusha T, like a Coke rap sort of thing.
Coke rap?
Coke rap.
What's that mean?
You know it when you hear it.
Okay.
But that album is just really good. I feel like it was his most accessible project that he's ever done because the beats and like the flows and the it's more melodic in some places, and it's especially in beats and flows. Like I said, it's more easier on the ears. Like I feel like what he's done previously, like he's worked a lot with like The Alchemist, who makes beats and stuff. He's like Kenny Beats or like Metro Boomin or something like that, right? The Alchemist makes beats.
Those guys.
But he works a lot with him, and they've done great albums like Alfredo, Pinata, Bandana, whatever. But those albums are S tier albums. But Soul Sold Separately, I feel like is more. It's different from what he normally does, and it's more accessible to the ears for people who aren't into that sort of rap. So I feel like if you are more into mainstream stuff, this would be something that would be more accessible for you that you could listen to and potentially enjoy. It's called Soul Sold Separately by Freddie Gibbs. It's one of my top albums of the year. I really enjoyed it.
Freddie.
Let me touch on Breakins. You just mentioned Breakins. I tried to get you to listen to a Breakins album earlier this year. This was before he dropped his most recent project, which I think he just dropped like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I don't remember.
It's funny to me that you like enjoy these guys so much because I felt like you're never like been a huge poppy guy, you know?
Yeah. So the deal with Breakins is he's not a rap artist. He's not a hip hop artist. He has hip hop influences in some aspects of his music, but he's largely known as like what's called hyper pop or glitch pop. It's like very, right? It's basically the beats are very kind of glitchy and electronic, and it's got hip hop influences in there. It is melodic. That's where you kind of get the pop aspect of it, but he's very different in his sound. I feel like his projects just have a sound that you don't get anywhere else, and he's got great songs. Like if I was going to recommend some songs to you, I'd probably tell you to listen to the song CBD off of his album from 2022 called Hypochondriac, which is again one of my top albums of the year. It's a great record. Another song off there which I recommend for you is called Deep Fake.
Deep fake.
I'd listen to that song. Great album. It's something different. Glitch pop, hyper pop. Just some good shit that I would recommend to anybody out there. Let me see here. Ooh, one more that I wanted to touch on, and I'm trying to spread these out in terms of genre, just so we get a little mix in here. It's not just a bunch of rappers, but Orville Peck. He came out with an album this year called Bronco. You've heard this because I've played it for you.
Have I?
Yes.
Does he have a song that ends like with like a weird twinge? Like weird like discordance kind of style?
Maybe. I'm trying to remember. But
what does he sound like? Give me your best Orville Peck impression.
I literally cannot do it. He has the voice of a country singer, basically. He's got like country twang to him. He's very... It's not country music, but it's pretty fucking close.
Did he get played a lot in the Boundary Waters?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's very unique in his sound because he sounds like a country artist with that twang and that kind of sound like that people would recognize as country, right? But I feel like a lot of his accompaniment and the instrumentation in his music is a little bit different. It's a little more grand, as well as I feel like the content matter of his songs is a little more personal. It's a little more emotional than you would normally get in like a I'm drinking beer on a fucking patio or some shit like that. Whatever. He doesn't rap. He doesn't sing about trucks and beer and shit like that.
Yeah, that would be stupid.
Which, I mean, that stuff can be good. It's whatever.
Meh.
But his album Bronco, excellent. One more I wanted to say, Alex G, God Save the Animals. Great album.
Alex G?
Alex G.
God Save the Animals.
Yes.
Good theme.
Great album. He's sort of like an indie rock, I can't even place him. He's just indie. He's just indie, bro. I don't know. Good album. Listen to it. Honorable mentions. We've talked about them. Forever Story by J.I.D. Melt Your Eyes, See Your Future. Mr. Morale, Kendrick. Her Loss, Drake. Few Good Things, Saba. It's Almost Dry, Pusha T. Cheat Codes, Black Thought. Love for Rent, Smino. Louie by Kenny Beats.
Dry?
Learn to Swim, Red Veil. No Thank You, Little Sims. Sick, Earl Sweatshirt.
Wait, we saw Red Veil, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Was he the kid?
Yeah.
That guy was bad.
Sick, loved him. The Family, Brockhampton, Heroes and Villains, Metro Boomin, Ghetto Gods, Earth Gang, Capri Songs,
They can't
FKA,
be
Twigs.
honorable mentions if you rattle off the 30 other albums.
Glaive, Old Dogs, New Tricks, Ants From Up There, Black Country, New Road, Charlie XCX, Crash, Dreamville, D-Day, Flume, Palaces, 070 Shake, You Can't Kill Me, and Brent Fayez with Wasteland. Thank you.
Holy shit. Did you listen to an album this year that you didn't like?
Yes.
Name one. All right, we got him. We got him, folks.
There's definitely one out there.
You're like an industry plant.
I don't remember, dude.
But you like all the music.
Sometimes, well, I usually listen to stuff knowing I'm going to like it.
Oh, okay.
In some capacity. I mean, there's a lot of records on there that I didn't list as my top ones. Like Future's album, I listened to it a lot. Wasn't my top.
What was his album called?
It was called I Never Liked You.
Uh-huh. That's sad.
Yeah, so that's it for music. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on for top music of 2022?
No, I promise we'll get back into the habit of you sending me an album. I'm going to fully listen to it.
I'll try.
But part of it is, so I listen to music most of the time when I'm driving, like to and from work, or, to here, back home, whatever. And that time like means a lot to me.
Yes.
To kind of, jam out and, just kind of escape for a bit.
Sure.
And I don't want to waste that time,
Right, you don't want to listen to something taking a risk.
Yeah,
like you might not like
I don't
it.
want that to be my like experiment time, because if I drive to your house and I listen to like this like really mid shitty album, I'm gonna be like, fuck, man.
What if I made you a playlist?
We could do that.
Where it's not an album, it's just songs.
I'm on Apple Music.
Fuck. Who the fuck has Apple Music?
Man, Spotify sucks.
No, it does not.
Spotify sucks.
I'm not doing this debate with you right now. Apple Music's garbage.
I love Apple Music. I'll stick with it forever.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my commitment. I swear I just saw something.
Oh my God, are you good?
I'm good. So I think we should.
The Molly's hitting.
The ayahuasca.
Yeah, sure.
From episode 3?
Sure.
4?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
One of them.
Okay. The thing I want to move on to is movies.
Yes.
And again, I feel like I'm going to be fucking wiped out in this category.
I don't know, man.
Because I realize that I watch I've watched way fewer of the new movies. Like I feel like you and Megan are really good about going out and seeing all the new stuff. I am not quite so good. But here's my number one movie from this past year. It's Batman. The Batman.
Nice.
Incredible fucking movie.
With Robert Pattinson.
I love movies that like you watch them and you feel like you should be the main character, you know?
What?
When it ends like the music swells, like especially with the Batman, the score was like fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And you've never walked out of a movie and like the end credits roll and like, yeah, I am Batman. You know? You never felt that?
I mean, I kind of get what you mean. Like I'll watch a movie and I'll be like, man, I should be a reporter, like the person in that movie.
Yeah. But I feel like I should be the Batman.
Okay.
So that was great.
Wait, give me a Batman impression. Go.
No.
Come on.
I'm not gonna try.
You're gonna sit here in front of all these people and say that you should be the Batman, yet not even.
All right, I got one.
Okay.
I'm Batman. That was my Muppet Batman.
Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, when you say it like that, that's a good impression.
Thank you.
Muppet Batman.
Been working on that.
Probably never been done before.
Should we? Should we first get the rights to use Muppets and then second get the rights to use Batman?
It can't be that hard.
Can't be that hard.
All right,
They made a fucking Lego Batman.
We'll get that in the works.
Anyone can do it. Nope, I would say is my second favorite movie. Such a good, weird, fun film for the family, for friends. See, I feel like so fucking like unoriginal just saying these.
No, I feel
Black
like
Panther 2.
No, this is a good list because the point of this is to go over good moments of 2022.
All right.
Mine aren't in any particular order. I was just going to talk about movies that I enjoyed this year, and this is a great list. Continue.
That was really reassuring. Thank you.
Yeah.
Violent Night that I saw recently.
What, you just glossed over Black Panther 2?
Yeah, Black Panther 2.
I love Black Panther 2.
Black Panther 2 was very good.
It was so good. I heard a lot of people say they didn't like it.
People are going to...
Like, what is going on?
I feel like it's hard to follow up a movie that is missing, such an impactful actor like Chadwick Boseman. I feel like no matter what the film contained, people are going to complain about it.
Right, but I feel like they did a really good job of moving on from him in the best way that they could, right? I mean, they had a lot of, like, memorial stuff to him within the movie, and it just kind of is what it is, you know?
I'm glad they didn't try to, like, recreate him or, like, use past
recast
lines.
Or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. I think they, did a really good tribute to him.
Yeah.
But very good movie.
Awesome.
Definitely not my favorite one, because that's strictly reserved for the Batman.
Okay.
Because I'm the Batman. Violent Night, I've talked about in the past.
Nice.
Very good movie. You should see it.
I need to see it.
It's just fun, It's just a good time.
Just need a fun movie.
More graphic than you'd think.
Really?
Like, there's some pretty
there's some gruesome scenes.
Pretty gross deaths.
Sick. I love a good death scene.
Yeah.
Like if it's not like a gross like gory horror or whatever, it's just kind of like fun action death.
There's like this scene where this dude gets like a nail stuck like through his chin and up into his mouth.
Ugh.
Shit like that, like skin piercing, really makes me squirm.
Yeah, that shit's wild.
And then I have some movies on this list that I haven't seen, but I really want to see.
Okay.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that yet?
I haven't seen it.
It's good.
I've been told.
I feel like I didn't like that movie as much as everyone else did.
Oh.
I really liked it, but I feel like everyone was like, "Oh, this is the best movie. This is the best movie I've ever seen." But I mean, it was really, really great. Yep, that's it.
And the other thing I want to see is Glass Onion, because Knives Out was probably top 10 favorite movies all time.
Yeah.
Very, very well done. And I've heard very good things about Glass
I didn't even
Onion.
think about that. That comes out on streaming on Christmas.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I got Christmas plans.
There you go.
Boom.
I got to watch it.
Give me your list.
My list. All right. I just made, like I said, it's not in any order, but I just kind of came up with a few movies that I thought were a lot of fun, some that we've already talked about that were on your list. I'm going to start off with the movie Fresh. This was a movie that was on Hulu. I don't know if it was in theaters, but it basically is about this guy who is a cannibal, kind of, and he I don't want to give up too much about the movie and ruin it, but basically this girl meets this guy. He's supposed to be this really great guy that she's dating, and then all of a sudden he's a piece of shit serial killer cannibal guy, and then shit ensues. But it's really great. It's got, I forget what he's in. I can't even think anymore. But he kind of looks like Ted Bundy. I can't remember what his name is. Anyways, good movie. Would recommend.
Wait,
also,
does that mean there's been 2 cannibal movies this year?
Yes.
Weird.
I wasn't going to talk about Bones and All, though.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about it again. Emergency. I would recommend anyone see the movie Emergency. This movie is really good. It came out really early in the year. I think it was like February or something. But the premise of this movie is two college students, two African-American college students, try to go to like all these parties or whatever in one night. And then in the middle of this like big night or right before they're about to go out and begin their night, they find this passed out white girl in their living room. And then they try to like help her. But then it's sort of like, you know, things don't go to plan and things kind of get messed up, and it's got a lot of like racial like statements and overtones to it where two African American kids are trying to help this white girl and stuff like that. So it's a good movie. It's kind of thrilling, kind of intense, kind of funny at times.
Wow.
And I would really, really recommend it to anybody. Maybe that was a pretty poor explanation of it, but I loved it.
I haven't heard of these first two movies.
Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This one starring Pete Davidson.
I had COVID when you guys all went.
Oh yeah, we went with Emily.
Fuck.
This movie was fucking awesome, dude. Where they play this game called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. They're all in this big mansion, and they're celebrating like this big fucking hurricane or something hitting their town. So they're throwing a party, and they're doing a bunch of drugs and having fun, whatever. And they play Bodies, 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 which is this game where you turn out the lights, and then somebody's supposed to like, I don't know, like tag you or whatever, and then you're supposed to be dead. And then when you find a body, you go, Bodies, 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 and then they find him or whatever. Except in this movie, someone actually died.
Don't spoil it. I want to see it.
Well, that's like the whole premise of it.
You just spoiled it.
It was sick. Okay. A couple more.
Okay.
Stutz. This, I forget what streaming service it's on, but it's a movie by Jonah Hill. He made it. The whole movie is him interviewing his therapist. So it's him and his therapist talking about mental health and shit like that. And it's super interesting. They go into like the therapist background. They talk about a lot about like Jonah Hill's mental health shit. It's very deep, very cool. And I feel like the therapist has a lot of wisdom and ways to...
Wait, is Jonah Hill himself?
Yes. It's not like a movie. It's more of a documentary.
Ooh, why is it called Stutz?
Because it's his therapist's last name is Stutz.
Oh.
Yeah. It's good. I would watch it. Any of you.
Close to butts.
Close to butts. Stutz.
Just putting that idea out there, Jonah.
And then one I just saw with my wife is called She Said. And this is that movie that is it's based on like it's about the New York Times article about Harvey Weinstein and all that kind of stuff. So it follows the two reporters who came up with the art or who created the article, and then like their journey of, you know, digging into these allegations, and which are all true, by the way. They're not just allegations, actual crimes that were committed by Harvey Weinstein. And just kind of, it's really cool because the main characters are not just reporters, they're wives, they're mothers, they're real human beings. And it showed how tough it was for these women to create this story, which had such a huge impact on culture and everything else. And it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Didn't Harvey Weinstein just like get... I think he's found guilty on several charges.
Like he's in prison now.
Yesterday, a couple days ago, maybe a week ago.
I don't know. But in the movie at the end credits, it said he's in jail for something, whatever. He was guilty, but maybe he got more charges against him. It was additional charges.
Yeah, additional.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck you, Harvey.
Fuck you, Harvey Weinstein. We don't want you anymore. We never wanted you. We hate you, Harvey. I don't know. Fuck.
Good save.
Thanks, man. I don't know.
You can apologize.
We are an anti-Harvey Weinstein podcast.
Didn't know that was a thing you had to say these days, but
sometimes you just got to make sure people know where you stand.
It's true.
Okay.
I want to see Bodies, 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 but I'm going to watch it alone.
It's good.
Because you guys watched without me.
I'd watch it with you.
I just said that I want to watch it
alone.
alone.
Fine, watch it alone.
I feel like I'm going to sneeze. All right. So the natural progression from movies brings us to TV shows.
TV
I
shows.
feel like this is where I kind of shined.
This is your spot to really show off.
You're probably going to have seen way more time.
No, I don't care. This isn't a competition.
You have way more time for TV than I do.
Why are you creating some like comparison thing here?
You got way more time for TV than I do.
Yeah, I don't have a lot going on.
So my number one TV show, like by a mile, is Severance.
Nice.
So fucking good.
Yes.
The score, the plot, the cast, the other elements that make up a movie. Incredible.
Yes.
It's fun to see. Like I've loved Adam Scott since Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because most of the time he plays like a dirtbag outside of Parks and Rec.
Like in The Good Place.
The Good Place, Step Brothers.
Yep.
This movie that you don't like, it's called The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. He plays a D-bag. I love that movie. But man, Severance was just so good, and so many twists and turns, and just a very, very unique story.
I love that show.
Would you sever?
Have we talked about this? I feel like my answer is no.
Yeah.
But I do see the benefits.
That's the thing. Like, so whenever I've tried to introduce someone to the show,
yes,
I've kind of explained Severance and
right.
what the deal is.
Why don't you explain it for those of us those listening that may have never seen the show?
Yeah, so Severance is a show starring Adam Scott and other people, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Basically, the premise of the show is that there's a medical procedure that you can undergo in which your brain is kind of split in two, in that the memories that you have from work are separate from the memories that you have, outside of work.
Yep.
So Adam Scott, his character, you follow it's almost like two separate lives.
Yeah.
Like the moment he steps into his workplace, he is a different person in that he does not remember what came before. He doesn't remember what he did, at home. He only has memories from when he's at work.
Right.
And vice versa. When
Whoa. We just said that at the same time.
That was nice. When he goes, home, he doesn't remember anything about work.
Yes.
And so it sounds like cool, I wouldn't have to, have any memory of, working.
Right.
But as you start to watch the show, it's clear that some people maybe don't want to only have work memories. Because the thing that really kind of fucked with me is the moment he steps into this elevator, he reverts back to his work self.
Yeah. And
if you only work, you step out into this elevator, you forget everything, you come back, and you're still in work. So I feel like you would never have.
You start to get this thing of the characters where their work selves don't enjoy what their lives are like, because it's just they wake up, they're back at work, and it's just fucking
you don't
garbage.
have any rest. There's it's just snap your finger and boom, you're back at work. And so there's a mystery element of it's a very weird, eerie company that they work for, and that's all I'll get into. But just a very, very, very compelling story. I'm excited for season 2. But when I would tell people about it, be like, "Oh, I would love to." I would love to sever. That sounds so fun. But when you watch the show, it's a different story.
You don't want to sever.
Don't want to sever.
But maybe.
But that was my number 1 show.
Nice.
I loved it. I love showing people that show. Number 2 is The Bear. I'm sure that's on your list.
Yes, great I was going to talk about the show.
Jeremy
Allen White?
Yeah,
yes.
Did a great job. Really just sad, but really, really well done show.
Yeah.
I got Peacemaker.
Ooh.
Great show. It
was on my list too.
Unexpectedly good.
I went into watching Peacemaker not having high expectations. I was like, John Cena, okay,
yeah, it's just
whatever.
John Cena.
It's really good.
It is really good.
It's there's humor in it. There's action. It's a good story. Mm-hmm. In terms of superhero shows, it's the best one I've seen.
Yeah, it probably is the best superhero show. I mean, I think Marvel has gotten to the point where they're just pumping out so much content that there's no way it can be that good.
Right.
Whereas with Peacemaker, it's clear that they took the time for the story.
Right.
And John Cena does a really fucking good job.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon.
Whoa, haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Is that Game of Thrones shit?
Yeah, it's the Game of Thrones prequel, technically. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you're probably pretty fucking disappointed after season 8. It was dog shit. And so I had really, really low expectations for this show.
Yeah.
Just because, the peaks for Game of Thrones, very high, elite television.
Right.
And then it really went downhill. So it's kind of temper your expectations. But House of the Dragon was great. They did a really good job with the cast. I was worried because at 6 episodes in, they do a jump. So all these
time jump.
Yeah, time jump. So most of the cast kind of gets recast.
Oh,
there's some key players that stay in it. Yeah, but it's wow, I really like this actor. Oh, now they're gone.
Oh,
but it was really, really well
worked?
done. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then the last one on my list, I have a couple honorable mentions. The last one on my list is Atlanta.
Nice.
So I'll caveat here, I did not finish season 5, which is the last season, because it just kind of really bums me out.
Yeah, you don't want it to end?
Being hyped for Atlanta for the longest time. It came out, I think, in 2016.
Yeah, I think so.
And really good, and they've just been really slow to release seasons, but they actually did season 4 and season 5 this year. And I know you're not caught up.
Well, I think that's what happened to me is there was just so much space in between seasons. I just kind of lost the drive to watch it.
Yeah.
I was just I don't know. I don't really remember what's happening, and whatever. I remember watching the first season and thinking it was fucking incredible, but I just kind of slowly tried to watch the rest of it. I think I watched season 2, and then I just never really picked it up from there.
Oh, I think I said season 5. It's 4 seasons. 4 seasons.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But 3 and 4 came out. 4 is really good so far. Again, I haven't finished it, but it is done, which just makes me sad. I have a hard time finishing things, like games, TV shows. Sad for things to end.
Just really bad at finishing.
Yeah, can't finish.
Doesn't finish.
Some might.
It's close.
Some might not be against that quality.
That's true.
Some may be okay with that.
Some things just never end, and that's okay.
And then my honorable mentions are Kenobi.
Wait, what?
Kenobi?
What is that?
What?
The fuck is that? What did you just say?
Kenobi?
What'd you call me?
Kenobi, the TV show that came out starring Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, okay.
Playing Obi-Wan
Star
Kenobi.
Wars stuff.
Great concept. Love the nostalgia. Not
Sure.
that great on execution, I would say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some of the stories a bit clunky, again, with Marvel just pumping shit out. But
it's just kind of stuff where it's like, it's Star Wars, it's Game of Thrones, it's Marvel. People are going to watch it whether it's good or not.
Yeah. But great to see him back in that role, and Hayden Christensen came back as...
I love Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's awesome.
And then the last one, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Oscar Isaac. Nice.
Not much more to say there.
Shout out.
Give me your television shows that you enjoyed.
I mean, you touched on a lot of them. I mean, let me see
we don't
here.
even need to get into what you talked about then.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about The Bear. We talked about Severance. I want to talk about Sex Lives of College Girls. Have you watched this?
No, Megan raves about it.
Oh, my God. Okay, so it is a show that is probably... It's just more relatable for women because it's about women and their college experience and stuff like that.
Ew.
So, whatever.
Gross.
Jesus.
How do you relate to that?
I just think it's funny.
Okay.
It's a fun show. The characters are really funny. I can still relate to some of the experiences because it's still college. You can just be like, ha, sorority girl's funny. Or like, I don't know, like shit like that. It's about 4 girls, and they're all roommates, and they're all very different people. Season 2 came out this year. It was very good. It's starring, one of the girls is Timothée Chalamet's sister.
Fucking nepotism.
Whatever, she's good. I love her. She's maybe my favorite character.
What's her name?
In the show?
Her real name.
Oh, I don't know. Her name in the show is Kimberly.
I feel like her name's got to be really weird. Spelled weird, just like Timothy.
Let me look it up because I don't remember what it
like
is.
the French spelling? He's French, isn't he?
Probably.
You don't even know? You said
his last name is definitely French.
Earlier this year, you said you wanted to swap places with him. You don't even know like his.
It's Pauline Chalamet.
How is Pauline spelled? Show me.
Just
normal.
Normally.
Interesting.
Normally. Yeah, but the show's really good. I would recommend it. It's funny. It's original. It's written by Mindy Kaling.
Oh,
from The Office.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a great show. I really enjoy it. Whether you're a man, a woman, a child, don't watch it if you're a child. It's not appropriate. Anyone should like that. It's funny. Let me think of something that you haven't touched on. White Lotus. I just finished that new season of White Lotus. Did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen any season of White Lotus.
White Lotus is good. The first one was less good. The second one I liked a lot more. Has Audrey Plaza in it. I'm a big Audrey Plaza fan. My wife said that Audrey Plaza is the sexiest woman she's ever seen.
Really?
Hard to disagree. Well, I do disagree, but
so it's
I still love Audrey Plaza.
I do too. I've been rewatching Parks and Rec.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. White Lotus is good, though. It's basically just rich people at a resort, and then somebody always dies in the season, and you have to figure out who's going to die at the end, and it's really cool.
I feel like just browsing Twitter and TikTok, some of that has been spoiled for me, but I don't know the characters, and I do want to get into it. I just want to be able to talk with you guys.
I know.
You guys are always talking about, have you seen the new Borkers Bonkers? Season 3 just came out, you know?
Have you seen season 4 of blah, 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 blah?
For context, we have a group chat in which we
Yeah.
heavily discuss film and television, and I'm always left out.
Yes, because you're a big loser. The last one I wanted to talk about was Industry. Have you watched Industry?
Mm-mm.
It is basically Euphoria meets what's that business one?
Home Improvement.
Fuck. About the rich family. Whatever. It's this
Arrested Development?
No. It's about these British people working in finance.
Succession?
Succession. It's Succession meets Euphoria.
I haven't seen either of those.
Whatever. It's a great show. It's in the UK. These UK people work in finance, and they're always yelling like, "Hey, give me the fucking stock, whatever you got, blah blah." And then they're doing a lot of coke, and it's really sick.
It's a really good trailer for that.
I would watch it. I would tell you guys to watch it.
Never heard of Industry.
It's good.
Like, was that just season
I think
one?
it's on HBO. There's 2 now, 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look out.
I would like to do a fun exercise.
Okay.
On the count of 3,
Yes.
I would like us each to say the worst movie we saw.
Wait, can I think?
Okay.
Wait, I need to think. Can I look at my letterboxd?
No.
Wait, I can't even think of them.
I thought it was like a clear cut.
The worst movie?
The worst movie you saw this year?
Oh my God.
Is there any movie in particular?
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
Perhaps you didn't watch all of? 3, 2, 1.
Doctor Strange!
What a horseshit movie.
Fuck that movie.
I was so excited for it because I really do like Marvel.
Yeah.
But again, man, they're pumping out some real dog shit movies.
Dog shit.
Horrible.
That movie was so bad. That's the only movie I've ever walked out of in my entire life. It was so bad. The part with the stupid fucking pizza balls? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
That's like the last thing you watched, right?
Yeah. That's
so
why
funny.
it's stuck in my brain
That's
because it's the last thing I
your
saw and then
final
I walked the
impression of that
fuck
movie.
out.
Yeah. They did a callback to it at the end. That was
Stupid.
The end credit scene was that guy.
That movie was ass.
It was so bad.
Benedict Cumberbatch should be ashamed of himself, as should whoever the fuck directed that. I don't know.
Sam Raimi.
Sam, what the hell happened? I know you're listening.
He did the Spider-Mans.
Well, he really dipped off the end of the pool.
Yeah, it was very depressing, and it honestly like spurred me not to watch Thor: Love and Thunder, which I was very excited for because Ragnarok was really good.
Yeah,
love Taika Waititi, but God,
that was also bad.
Yeah, I didn't even give it a shot.
It wasn't great.
I'll watch it at some point, but I just saw some clips from it that made it look like a horrible CGI, and
yeah,
but
wouldn't recommend.
Here's a question.
Okay.
I would like you to tell me your favorite episode of this podcast.
Favorite episode of this podcast?
Yeah. Your favorite one to record?
I feel like we've had a lot of good ones. I really enjoyed the Hot Ones episode.
That was a lot of
just
fun
because I feel like that one was a big like experience. Having to go through those hot sauces. Jesus Christ. I mean, I said some things that I wish I could take back. And my stomach wishes I had never done that.
That was horrible.
But that one was wild. Other than that, I mean, the guest episodes have been fun. We've only had a couple. I'm really looking forward to doing more of those.
Yeah, we got more slated.
Because I feel like it's very interesting to just have a third party here, have someone else to talk to and pick their brain a little bit. And you guys, then you don't get bored of us two fuckers.
It's true. Yeah, we got more on the way. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. We got some shit coming up. What about you?
Yeah, I'd say Hot Ones was my favorite. I would say one that I don't know if we'll ever release it. So when we first started, we just recorded like a test episode. We chatted for like 50 minutes.
I forgot about
just
that.
to kind of see how it would go, and I felt like it went pretty well.
Right.
I mean, it obviously set us up to be where we are today.
Yeah.
We showed a couple people. We got mostly positive feedback.
Right.
But honestly, like my favorite part has been. Especially when we released that first episode, just got like a lot of positive messages from from friends and family who sat down and listened to like a 55-minute rant of the two of us, and it's just been really fun since then.
It's crazy that people sit down and listen to us talk for an hour.
I know. I would not listen to me.
I appreciate every single person out there who does that. Maybe that first episode, maybe we could release that in some format or another.
I've got it. In the worst case scenario, maybe there's a chance that one day we couldn't record. Maybe you have a kid on the way.
That.
I'm just keep it in my back pocket just as like a.
I mean, it's definitely going to be our worst episode.
Oh,
if we put
100%, 100%.
Wow.
Especially, I feel like the audio probably wasn't as good.
Probably
something
not.
up with that, but yeah, it's been great. We're running out of time, but we do want to cover one final thing.
Yes.
Resolutions. As everyone does. Yep, everyone has New Year's resolutions. Most of the time, people don't follow them. But why don't you start? I think you said three apiece?
Yeah, at least 3. I actually have resolutions personally.
Yeah.
And resolutions that I have for this podcast.
Yes.
Would you like me to touch on both?
Yeah.
So I've got 3 for each of that subject, if that makes sense to you. Let me just pull these up. So it's going to be more than 3 for me, but I'll rattle them off. My first one, I want to meditate every day. I want to continue my meditation practice.
Christ.
Keeps me calm, keeps my blood pressure down, and just keeps me feeling good. The other thing I want to do is get a tattoo, which I tend to do most years, and I will do that again this year.
Do you have plans for your next tattoo? Where you want it?
Yeah, I want to start filling out my arm more.
Oh, okay.
We'll slowly inch our way to a full sleeve, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, I've always wanted sleeve tattoos.
Will you get a tattoo that has some significance, like relating to your child?
I will eventually. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I mean, you only have so many ideas up here. You gotta.
It's true.
Can't just start throwing random shit on my arms.
I'll pay for your tattoo if you get your kid's name in like Comic Sans font.
Done deal.
On your hand.
No. I like to also put on my list things that I know I can accomplish. So I put become a father. Just so I can check something off the list, you know?
That is smart. That is smart.
You know, just it's almost a mental thing. Like, I'm doing something. Check. Done.
It's funny that you say that because I'm looking at mine and I have become a godfather on my list over here.
There you go. Oh. Who's going to do that for you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Then I have two more serious ones. Hang out with the boys at least once per week.
We've been doing that.
They'll continue to do it.
Okay.
And then one is monthly.
Wait, did you say that was more serious or less serious?
Yeah, it's more serious. I want to hang out with my boys.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Then monthly dates with Megan.
Oh.
Which she actually, I read her that and she's like, why do I only get a monthly date and you get a weekly date with the boys? I was like, well, like, because with her I meant like I see her all the time. We hang out every day, but a monthly date meaning I like take her out to a nice dinner, take her and have a special night at least once a month. You know, something cool like that.
I mean, to your credit, you don't like get to go to bed with us every night. That's
true. Unfortunately, I don't get to go to bed with jeans over here. So you wear jeans to bed.
Try one of these nights.
I'm not going to. Why don't you tell me your personal resolutions, and then we can go over podcast resolutions at the end here.
Yeah. So my number one, I'm setting some plans in motion, but I really want to get into like meal prep, so that I can have just food readily available, each day.
Sweet.
Because money's tight.
Yeah.
And food is expensive. Mm-hmm. And I go into the office a couple times a week, and it's so tempting to be like, okay, what are we all ordering today?
Right.
And you end up spending like $15, $20 on a meal,
it's too much.
Plus delivery and tip. It gets to be, gets out of hand.
Out of hand.
And there's things I want, in life.
You can't have it all.
I want to buy this house that I'm in.
This one right now?
Yeah, I want to go directly to your bank.
Oh.
Undercut you, take your mortgage, evict.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, man. People do it all the time.
Okay.
I don't know why I said that. But I really want to get into it.
I want to make you homeless.
Something else I want. I mean, everyone says I would like to get in better shape, and
sure.
The two work in tandem.
Me too.
I feel like if I start like consistently eating just kind of plain but still good for you food, I feel like the
I don't have to eat plain.
Well,
come on.
You kind of the food you eat sounds disgusting.
It is delicious.
I had eggplant and
I don't eat eggplant.
1 grain of salt. It was incredible.
I have Brussels sprouts and broccoli and chicken and spinach and sometimes sweet potatoes.
Brussels sprouts.
We've touched on
gross, this, but that's my big thing. I guess kind of like an overarching goal of mine is just like consistency.
Yeah.
Because I'm really bad sometimes with follow through.
Sure.
Like, I've had get in shape on my resolution, my New Year's resolution, many years.
As have a lot of people.
Yeah. And I've gotten like really good for like a month, 2 months, 3 months. 2021, I was really, really good. I mean, I was consistently working out.
I mean, honestly, that's probably the worst part about New Year's resolutions is when you work out, the gym right after the New Year is full of fatties.
What? That's not.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're a body positive podcast. You should go to the gym.
Like
it's good for you. Please take care of yourselves. That was just a joke.
But I don't even know how to respond to that.
Continue.
But yeah, I just want to be more consistent, more deliberate about the things I do. Sometimes it's easy to just fall into a groove where you just kind of breeze about, don't do a whole lot.
Yeah,
it's hard to get up.
Oh my god.
But I just want to I want to set goals and then stick to them.
Nice,
simple as that.
You've got it.
I'm gonna talk about what I want for the podcast.
Okay.
Individual goals for myself, what I know I can do for our podcast.
Oh, okay.
I want to automate the stupid fucking intro. I want to start, stop having to, fucking sit here and push the button and,
Beep, boop,
and
boop,
turn the crank and do all that.
Okay.
I want to get better about social media engagement, which I need your help.
Yeah, I think we actually are planning on having a meeting soon. Not just us, a few other people.
Over dinner, of course.
Yeah, probably over dinner, something nice. Maybe not too expensive. Maybe just like
Fogo
nice,
de chao?
Definitely something with maybe candlelit. I don't know. We'll see. Tablecloths, who knows? But discussing how we can do better with social media, how we can promote better, how we can do better for our audience, the people out there listening. We love you, and we want to make this better for you.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about that and how we can improve overall. And I agree with you. I feel like we need to do better with social media, marketing.
I want to get better with the YouTube. I feel like the YouTube is very popular. All the kids
get
are
the
using
YouTube game up a little bit.
Get better about production quality.
Sure. Yeah. Other things I had as just things that I feel like we can get to eventually. I don't know if this will be the year, but I have it on the list because I feel like why not talk about it? I want to maybe think about starting a Patreon.
That would be cool.
I feel like that would be cool to do. Have some extra content on there. Maybe that original unreleased episode could be thrown on a Patreon. Who knows? I want to start working on merch. I feel like merch would be cool. I don't know if we're there yet, but I feel like by the end of 2023, we could get there.
Absolutely.
And lastly, I want to diversify our guests. I feel like we have too much straight, white, male, Gen Z, millennial energy on this podcast, and we need to diversify the people on here.
What do you mean, man? I'm pretty cultured.
You're right. What am I thinking?
No, I agree. I think, the most exciting podcasts are the podcasts that have a lot of different voices.
Yeah, I want to have different voices. I want to have people on here that think differently, they speak differently, they have had different experiences than we have had in our lives, and we can discuss it and have an intellectual and emotionally intelligent conversation. Am I right?
Yes.
You were falling asleep there.
I also want to sponsor. I don't fucking care
Why
if
not?
it's Gary's mattresses. Please.
Yeah. If you're out there and you own anything, you can give us $1 and we'll talk about your fucking thing. I don't give a shit. I want an ad on this podcast.
Yeah, it would be fun. And I feel like we've had from where we started, we've had some pretty good success. I mean, consistently getting repeat viewers,
right?
Slowly picking up some speed and some momentum with gathering a new audience. So, I mean, I think we're on a great trajectory.
Yeah, we're on a great track. I feel like we're slowly growing, and everyone out there, we appreciate you for being a part of it and building the foundation of this podcast. And we're hoping to move forward and continue to grow with you guys.
The end goal, of course, is creating an impossibly unremarkable universe in which we have a parent podcast with a bunch of, children podcasts.
Yes. And you will do...
What?
I have no idea. I don't know, man. We will own all of you, and you will do our bidding.
Yes, the end goal is total world domination.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to play us out.
Let's play us out.
I almost just did. I was just setting up the podcast.
All right, guys. Have a good 2023. Please be safe on New Year's. Have a good time. And just remember, set your resolutions. And you can do anything, but not anything.
Not anything.
Not anything.
There are limits.
But be attainable.